As they exit, we see a ghost appear behind one of them.
Oh!
Ghosts
Have you ever felt like you're being watched? Even when you're alone? Security cameras are everywhere. And sometimes they capture things no one can explain. Today, we're going to dive into 50 of the creepiest things ever caught on security cameras, compiled by The Feathered Friend. And we're going to see just what might be lurking out there. Let's see if you can handle it. If I can handle it, honestly.
Welcome to Long Arms, Wiltshire,
Glass
home of the
breaks
most
and
haunted pub in the southwest of England. Long Arms has released their own video footage to show how obviously haunted this pub is. On an ordinary evening,
I think I've heard of this place, actually.
Empty,
I think this is like a pretty well-known
shattered,
haunted location.
while no one else was touching it. The glass shattered and the fragments
Yeah,
landed on
okay,
the
I have
floor
heard of
right
this,
in front
guys.
of the woman, who was shocked.
Yeah,
But
they
this
got like
instance wasn't the only
crazy
one that
stuff
gave
on
the pub
footage.
the
Okay,
reputation of
this is
being
a
the
good
most
start.
haunted in the city. In the 10 years or so that the current owner has now owned the pub, he has reported numerous spooky occurrences. Ghost-like things happen to himself, but also the visitors.
Yeah, okay.
According to the owner, but the most famous ghost is that of a black and white dog, which is sometimes so lively that it chases the children
Oh,
around
that's
the tables.
ominous. Was that a real photo? Is that a real photo, like, from this location? I mean, it looks like it's out in the fields. I can't imagine it's from the pub. But, no, yeah, this place is wacky. And, I mean, now, and granted, I mean, you know, you can tie string to chairs. And you can pull them around. It's easy enough to fake. But, like, this place has tons of stuff going on. And it's interesting, you know, because, I mean, the reactions of like customers and staff that you sometimes get along with whatever happens feels pretty genuine. This is one I might look into like more specifically. It's a fun one. Weird behavior.
Originally, this video was
monitor.
categorized as a baby monitor catching an
Okay, baby monitors capture scary stuff. Mostly just because like it's not cool to think that there's like ghosts or whatever hanging around your baby, you know? It's not fun.
intruder. But if you watch the video for more than a few seconds, you start to wonder if it was a human intruder or maybe a ghost. Many people in the
Sure.
comments have
What?
pointed out that
Oh.
this figure, even without the glowing eyes, doesn't look all that human. The owners of the
That
house
is
say nothing
weird
was
looking.
stolen,
Holy, I didn't
nor
realize
did
that's what they were
find any
talking
sign
about.
of a break-in.
That's more like a photo than a video, but that is bizarre.
Men in Black are men in black
in
suits,
Black.
and according
Ah,
to conspiracy
classic.
theories, are government agents harassing people who claim to have seen UFOs.
I mean, they're also like just as likely. Like, likely is a strong word. They're also theorized to be aliens themselves because they behave super bizarrely, such as being unsure how to drink out of a glass, or being unable to like speak grammatically correct English, or like whatever the language of the area may not be. They tend to like be like heavily coated in makeup and weird things. Like they're just a bunch of weirdos wandering around being like, no, we're humans too, guys, don't worry.
Some even suggest that they are aliens dressed up as normal people.
Yeah, see,
In
exactly.
2018, a video was uploaded to the YouTube channel Apex TV, in which
Sure.
we see a man walking into a law firm somewhere in Alaska. On the
Okay.
security camera, we see a woman named Nicole sitting behind her desk. The man seemed to ask her
I mean, that's just Agent 47. Am I crazy? For one thing. So I don't know if it's a Man in Black exactly.
a question
just gonna be a
on
normal
which
guy.
she grabbed something from the drawer, probably to protect herself. However, the man remains calm, and he gives the woman an instruction, after which she grabs a camera from a bag. Eventually, they both walk outside, and here the story starts to get very strange. According to Nicole, she was taken to a room and put to sleep, while the man was communicating with telepathy with something or someone. It turned out that Nicole had visited a cave the weekend before, and had probably recorded something on the camera that needed to be erased. Furthermore,
Okay.
Nicole discussed more creepy things in an interview with Apex TV. I don't know if this event is really true, but the fact
That is weird because it is all on camera. Like that could easily be staged because there's nothing we see on camera that's like impossible for, you know, people just to act out. And you get crazy stories from people like having supposed encounters with Man in Black. But I mean, weirder things have happened, I
is that it's not the
guess.
first time the Men in Black have been captured on camera. This is a story of an unexplained
Alien abduction. Oh,
of
that's
a man in the middle of
that's
the night.
bold.
The man was working a night shift as a security guard when a flash of light appeared, causing the man to suddenly disappear. Moments
Oh.
later, he reappeared in the security camera image, appearing disoriented and had his hands on his knees. According to the letter attached to the
that-
release of the surveillance footage, the man allegedly quit his job and then moved out. Do you believe that this man was abducted
That is
by aliens?
weird.
Let me
I
know in
mean,
the comments.
So the footage was kind of blurry. It's hard to tell exactly what's going on. And again, resolution footage can't capture movement for nothing. So I mean that could be weird. Like that's like unedited. Like he like fully disappears and then reappears. Although it kind of looks like maybe he fell over and then stood up, which might be why he was disoriented. Like maybe he slipped or tripped or something. Could have been abducted. I don't know. Aliens do stuff. Maybe.
The next event is a series
Scary
of videos
neighbor.
uploaded by Jeff Richards. Jeff has a neighbor
God.
who, according to him, is behaving very strangely. So he decided to hang up a security camera, and what he captured is quite
You do get
disturbing.
weird neighbors sometimes.
His neighbor
to be
walks
fair.
around at night at about 2 o'clock, and with a flashlight in his hand, and even looks
He's just like inspecting the fence. I mean, neighbors are weird. Like my upstairs neighbors right now are just like constantly like hammering things, and I don't know what the heck they're building up there, but like they'll just be like hammering nonstop for a couple of hours, and I'm like, what are you like? Why? You're like, I mean, it's
into
weird.
Jeff's garden. Of course, he could have lost something, but the strange thing about this is that the neighbor does it several times, for months. In this
So I mean, that sounds like that could just be some kind of like compulsion behavior of like maybe he feels like this need to like thoroughly check the perimeter of his house to feel safe before going to bed or something. Like people have all kinds of like crazy, I don't know, routines that they'll carry out just to feel comfortable and normal. Like that is a thing. I mean, definitely weird to be doing it in the middle of the night.
video, we see the neighbor looking over the fence again. And just after that, he notices the security camera and smiles at it. It's also strange that he
That's
regularly
pretty
walks to the same
weird.
place, as if he's buried something there. Jeff says he's reported his neighbor, but they don't do anything about it. What do you
Well,
think
I mean,
his neighbor...
you really can't. I mean, the neighbor is being a weirdo, but he's being a weirdo on his property. So it's like, and he's not really like threatening anybody. He's just kind of wandering around with a flashlight. I mean, it's just like, I don't know. It's probably fine.
neighbor's up
It's
to?
just
Let me know in the
strange
comments.
behavior. Hey, if you're enjoying this so far, make sure you go ahead and give us a like and maybe subscribe to the channel if you haven't yet. Thanks.
The following video was
A
uploaded by a
creepy
YouTube
face.
user in
Oh,
which he claims
dear.
that his house is haunted.
Sure.
He tells that he has observed strange events on several occasions, so he decided to put up a camera, and the next day he was shocked. The lights were flickering and the doors were opening and closing randomly.
Oh,
Which
that's...
of course left him unable to shake the thought that his house was haunted. There were
Oh,
also
that's-
strange noises coming from the bathroom, the furniture moved by an invisible force, and doors swung back and forth by themselves.
Okay,
At one
having
point,
lots of
he
weird
freaks
stuff
out
going on.
and runs out
Fair.
to call someone.
Pretty
Upon
fair.
returning, he sees all his cabinets mysteriously open. But when he
Sure.
looked at the security camera and zoomed in on the door, he saw a head that appeared to be of a ghost. Pretty creepy, if you
Oh,
ask me. Could this
fetch.
house really be haunted?
Oh, I hate that.
Speaking of creepy,
Creepy
incidents on
body
the street,
appears?
take a look at this video footage and imagine yourself in this man's place.
What the?
You're walking
Whoa,
down
wait
the
a
street,
minute.
and out of nowhere, a figure seems to appear on the ground in front of his feet. Some people in the comments claim that the figure came from another dimension or
Oh,
wormhole.
that...
However, it remains a very mysterious video.
Yeah, that's weird though, I guess.
Because where else could this figure have come from? What do you think? This next scenario is one of the scariest.
Girl
and the one you
escapes
never
in
want to
supermarket?
experience as a parent.
Uh-uh.
In the video footage, we see a man in the middle of a supermarket trying to lure a little girl away. Everything was
Yikes.
captured by the security camera. Fortunately, the little girl was brave enough and started screaming, causing the man to let her go. The man ran off, but was later eventually arrested and had to go to jail for a long time.
Yeah, no kidding. I'm pretty sure they frown upon that.
In this next video footage
Creepy
uploaded by a
pale
homeowner,
figure.
we see a strange figure looking
Oh,
pale.
that is
This
a...
occurrence was reportedly observed in the town of Moorhead in Kentucky, USA.
Sure.
According to the story, the figure would
Okay, so that looks like the pale crawlers. Those have been kind of getting popular recent years. Super bunch of weirdos, like pseudo-human, very pale, creeping around people's backyards in the forests.
even have been lurking in the backyard of the house. The figure
also
looked
just be a
pale
guy.
and lanky, but walked toward the car in a strange manner. Unfortunately, it's unknown what this creature had ended up being, but for the sake of the homeowners, let's hope it doesn't come back again.
Weird.
Sometimes paranormal
Ghost
things
in
happen
elevator?
in elevators. In this
Sure.
video, two people walk into the elevator, and as they exit, we see a ghost appear behind one of them.
Oh!
Ghosts are often said to have unresolved issues, which is why they haunt certain areas. It's said by many people that this was a real ghost
Oh, that sucks. I mean, that's probably just like Photoshop and clever editing, but that's terrible. Hate it.
captured on camera. I wonder what happened to this elderly woman for her to show up in this elevator. Although her intentions are unknown, it's a frightening sight to see her running after one of the men. Don't you agree?
It's probably fine. It's just weird behavior.
If there was no camera to document this
Poltergeist.
next instance, no one would have believed it happened.
Door
This
swinging
creepy
open,
moment took place in a
classic.
dorm and captured what looks like a poltergeist entering and terrorizing the room. A poltergeist is a ghost known to move objects or disrupt electrical equipment. In this video, we see a man lying on the bed who was suddenly pulled up by an invisible force. What I wonder after seeing this video is, how on earth can you fall asleep in the same room again?
Wait. That guy could just be lifting his legs. Like, I don't want to be Donnie debunker here, but all we saw was that a door opened, slightly off camera, so you can't really fully see the whole door even. And then a guy lifts his legs, but maybe it was a ghost that lifted them. Sure.
In this
Jeez.
video,
Poltergeist.
uploaded by a YouTube user named Julia, we see multiple paranormal events. She lives with her boyfriend somewhere in Russia, and they decided to
Okay.
hang up a camera because strange things happened in their house. One of the first things
not
they
a terrible
capture on
idea.
camera is when the kitchen salt is pushed over. A few weeks
Okay,
later,
slightly out of
something even
camera
happens
range.
while they're both in the kitchen. Julia grabs an egg from the fridge while her boyfriend is playing with his phone. Just
Sure.
after that, the blender turns on out of nowhere. Julia gets scared and drops the egg on the floor.
Not
After
the
that,
egg.
a couple of weeks go by and nothing happens. One of the days after, the man is preparing some food, and the stove turns on, after which the pan slides towards it. The couple probably has a poltergeist.
That is the most, chill, nonchalant reaction I've ever seen to somebody seeing, their oven turn on by itself. It's not normal. It's not good. Even if you're, used to the idea of, oh, yeah, my house is haunted, it's no, once the ghost is playing with fire, done. Exorcism time. I don't know what you do. Banish him. Come on. Also, that probably could just be stitched footage because he's only on one half of the screen. The other half they could be editing or whatever. It's, pretty easy to do. That is so nonchalant.
Noel Boyd is a man who was
Ghost in
shown creepy
Singapore.
CCTV footage by his brother who lived in Singapore. In the video, we
Okay.
see a ball of light moving through the apartment complex, which
Oh.
people say could be the energy of a ghost. The place where this happened was in Tampines,
sure.
a neighborhood in Singapore. There's always much debate in the paranormal community whether orbs of light are actually ghosts, or if they are just dust particles. What do you
Right,
think?
it could be
Let
a
me know in the
bug.
comments.
Orbs are...
This man had whether orbs of light are actually ghosts, or if they are just dust particles.
Yeah, my little comment I'll add on this is that orbs are very hotly debated, and for good reason, because they can be dust, they can be insects. Quite frankly, if all you've captured are orbs, and there's no other additional context or anything else to go with it, you've probably caught nothing. I do think there's some compelling orbs where they seem to be more intelligently guided, I guess, for a better word. It seems like they're interacting with things. That's a bit more interesting, but for the most part, I think orbs are kind of bunk. That's just my thought.
What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
Okay.
Security cameras are generally
Hacker
meant to provide you with
scares
security.
girl.
Ring security cameras
Oh,
in particular
no.
are supposed to serve indoors, and they also help to keep an eye on you when you are away from home. But it can also happen that this safe device puts you in a nightmarish situation. A family in Mississippi, USA got the
Who's
shock of their
that?
lives when an unknown hacker took over their Ring security camera system,
I'm your best
which was
friend.
set up in their children's room.
Oh.
The hacker began harassing their 8-year-old daughter. After gaining access to all the camera settings, the hacker was able to actually talk to the little girl. After she
That's-
anxiously asked who he was, he introduced himself by saying he was her best friend, Santa Claus.
Wow.
Pretty creepy.
Okay, So I've got a little short story about I don't know, not being hacked exactly, but I've had this experience of I was in an elevator one day, and suddenly because they have those buttons where you can call emergency services. Somebody called that elevator and started talking to me on the elevator. To hey, how's it going? What you up to today? And legit was just what kind of job do you have? How well does that pay? It was super bizarre. I was how I don't know, people could freaking call an elevator and just talk to people in it. And apparently there must have been a camera because he could tell I was wearing certain kind of working clothes, and he's oh, you do this kind of stuff? And I was how do you know? It was weird. So I don't know that. I don't know if that was like a hacker. That was a bizarre experience.
Pretty creepy.
Not a cool thing, especially to children. I mean, come on.
There's many people in the
Security
world who
guard
do
sees
not believe in ghosts at all. However, many security guards who work in cemeteries and hospitals say that they have actually seen strange things happen from time to time.
Sure.
The man in this video did not initially believe in ghosts either. He's a security guard at a hospital and was on night shift.
Fair enough.
He explains that at one point he felt a cold air fly by and
Did he just throw
a
a newspaper?
When he looked back at the security camera, he believed it could have been a ghost or a deceased person floating by. So it looks like his opinion.
Sorry, his reaction was like, is there something spooky about it? I'm gonna chuck this at you, stupid ghost. Like, what's the logic there? Like, I'm gonna throw stuff before you can.
Changed about
Unseen
ghosts after
villain.
this event. Creepy clowns. I
Creepy
think
clowns.
most people want to stay far away from them. In 2016, many
Sure.
incidents of clowns were reported in the United
Yeah.
States, Canada, and other countries. In this video that
There was,
comes
like-
from 2014, a clown was spotted in California at someone's front door in
Yeah,
the
just a bunch
Springfield
of
area.
people being
According
weirdos.
to the story, a number of
Yeah.
mysterious and terrifying clowns allegedly terrorized the streets for several weeks. Some people report seeing
Yeah, it's
clowns
just a bunch
running
of
out of the woods to
pranksters,
scare people.
really.
But imagine if the doorbell rings at your house at night and you see a clown standing in front of your security camera. Pretty creepy, huh?
This was one of the dumbest trends I think that ever happened in terms of like, I'm surprised that like no clowns were shot. Like, because I mean, like, quite frankly, like when you're like, trespassing on property, being a freaking weirdo, like, and people are feeling threatened, like they could have come out swinging, they could have come out shooting, especially like out in the woods where it's like, you're trying to stand your ground or defend yourself. It's like, I can't believe nobody died in this whole debacle.
After a retired couple had already
Nightcrawlers.
experienced multiple break-ins at their home in Yosemite, California, they pointed their security camera at the driveway. What they caught on security camera was pretty creepy. In the darkness of the night, two figures
Yes,
appeared. One
the
is incredibly small,
Nightcrawlers.
and the other is remarkably
I
large.
love
Most
the
of their bodies seem to
Nightcrawlers.
consist of their legs, and they only have a small upper body. What was later revealed is that these creatures
Yeah, the
were
freaking-
Nightcrawlers, and they were
Yeah.
said to have been seen everywhere from the United States to Europe. Do you believe
Yeah, the freaking Nightcrawlers are the best. I also have come to personally reference them as the Ghost Pants. They're delightful. I think they were called the Fresno Nightcrawlers at one place. I think Fresno was one of the first places that saw them, Fresno, California. Then Yosemite, California saw some. And they've been reported other places, allegedly. Fascinating thing. And it's also like, it's been proven to be like, at least those like initial couple of like, recordings were like, it would have been like pretty hard to fake them. So it's like, it's kind of debatable like what it could be if it's not weird creatures. I don't know.
that these
a whole
creatures really
thing.
exist, or what had they captured on camera here? You probably heard of people
Ghosts
who drop
through
to the ground
car?
in the middle of the road in front of a
Sure.
car. This way, they try to sue you for money. In this video, the same trick seemed to be happening. But when the motorist got out, he saw no one around his car. No one would have
Oh.
believed this story if he had told it. But fortunately, everything was filmed with a security
Oh, that is
camera.
weird.
As
It's
the
like
car
there's totally
passes,
like
we
a...
see a dark shadow appear and
Yeah, because you can kind of see there's like a figure there for a second. That's interesting. Because again, I mean, security cameras are crap at like detecting motions. That could have been a normal person walking, except that car doesn't even act like it's made contact with him. Like it just goes on through.
head toward the car. Then
That's
the man hits
interesting.
the brakes, and upon checking, he sees that the figure has disappeared.
Yeah, so he saw something there. So like he wigged out too.
The next story's pretty creepy.
Sounds
And
coming
I don't
from
think
the
you wanna
attic.
go through this. A man named Jeremy Kennedy from Pennsylvania heard strange noises coming from the attic one night.
Oh,
His
that
wife and
sucks.
children were asleep, so at
That's
first he
the
decided
worst.
to turn around again. However, when he heard the same sounds another day, he decided to put up a security camera in the attic to find out what it was. When he looked
Sure.
back at the footage, he saw his 69-year-old neighbor crawling through the attic. So it turned out that the neighbor was spying on him and his wife several times when they were sleeping. The neighbor had drilled holes with his drill.
That's freaking creepy. I hate that. Why? Why would you do this?
And made a removable wall to get to their attic. Jeremy went to the police with this evidence, and the man was arrested.
Wow.
quickly.
All right, that's enough clips for today. So we didn't watch all 50 clips in this video. If you want to see the rest of it, you can go check out this video. I'll have it linked down in the description. If you enjoyed this, make sure you leave a subscribe and maybe a like or something to help us out. And if you'd like to watch something else, you can check out this video right here where you can see a bunch of scary clips that police officers ever caught. Pretty good stuff.